Hey everybody, it's Daniel here from Mobile Syrup, and today I have the HTC Status from Telus, and this is HTC's first QWERTY Android phone, and it's quite the looker. So let's take a look at the hardware and the software and see if this is the right QWERTY phone for you. So, firstly, this is a 2.6-inch landscape screen, and the resolution is 480 by 320. So it's a little bit off the normal beaten path for Android, and you'll see it in a second. It's not all that capable when it comes to different apps, but it certainly gets the job done. On the left hand side we have the volume rocker here. Now this is a silver accent that's pretty standard on most HTC devices. On the bottom of the device we have a microphone. On the right of the device there's nothing there actually. On the top of the device we have a power button and a 3.5mm jack. On the back of the device we have a 5 megapixel camera with a LED flash and a speaker and a metal stripe here with HTC's logo, and underneath HTC Sense. The build quality on this is actually fairly good. It's not made of metal, but it's an anodized plastic that's really it feels very much like aluminum, and it's got this matte finish here that makes it very nice to hold in the hand. You'll also notice that it has a bit of a chin there, so it makes it more comfortable when holding it up to your face for a phone call, and it makes it more comfortable to type on as the keys are closer to you than the screen is, and you won't really notice it until you start using it. The front of the device is actually the most interesting. Obviously, we have the speaker grill here, which is quite big. We also have the 4 regular capacitive touch buttons that Android users know and either love or hate, and we have dedicated call and end buttons, which will also get you back to the home screen when used. The keyboard here is actually quite good. The quality of the keys is high. It's quite clicky and there's good spacing between them. Unfortunately, there's no dedicated number row. However, they have bunched up the numbers here on the left-hand side for easy use. You will also notice that there's a directional pad and dedicated period, question mark, enter buttons. There's also a delete button here. Unfortunately, we would have liked to see the delete button on the top right of the device, as it makes it a little bit difficult when you're scrambling to delete something. Your instinct goes right to the top, and I'll often hit the P button instead of the delete key. Same thing here with the shift button here. I know that the function button makes more sense on the bottom left, but the shift button is also in a strange place. I would have actually preferred it where the tab button is and kept the tab button on the on top of the function button. That being said though, some of the function buttons are make for very convenient use. For example, if you're in an app and you don't want to go back to the home screen to the camera, you can just hold the function button and press the camera over there. You'll also notice this strange looking F here. I'm not sure what this is for, but I think it's for a service called Facebook, and we'll take a look at that later on. So let's turn on the device, and you'll see here, even though this is running HTC Sense 2.1, this home screen here has been updated for the latest version of Sense, which is HTC Sense 3.0, and as a result you have these 4 quick shortcuts here. You have phone, mail, camera, and messages, and what you can do is you can actually drag the button right into the circle here and it'll quick launch into the mail program or whatever you set it at. So you'll see here we have the home screen. It's a little bit cramped, but HTC's done a good job at reorganizing everything for the wide screen. The app button is on the left-hand side here, and the shortcut to the personalized button is on the right. And we have 5 home screens possible. And you see, if you pinch to zoom, you'll get all the previews. You can actually press enter, press the plus sign rather, and you can go and add whatever widgets or other applications, shortcuts for example, or folders that you like, and they've adapted this to the small screen quite effectively. You will notice as well that you have all of these scenes. For example, I'm in the social scene right now, and you can go through them just scrolling this way. For example, play will give you a nice analog clock here. Travel will give you a travel clock with 2 times. Work will also give you a few apps that are customized for that. And let me go back to the main Telus one just to give you a sense of what you'll see right out of the box. So you have, of course, HTC's weather widget here, and you'll see most things on the device have actually been altered so that instead of the any buttons that you would interact with would be on the bottom, they're actually on the right-hand side, and that stays true through most of the UI. You'll also notice that in order to kind of cohese with the Facebook look of and feel of the device, most of the color schemes have been updated for gray and blue, which I actually find quite refreshing and a nice departure from regular HTC Sense. So let's go through that as well. You'll see the app screen here. It's 3 rows of 4 apps, and you scroll through them just like that. Now this is running this is running Android 2.3.3, and it also has a VGA front-facing camera that I forgot to mention. Calendar has been updated to fit the smaller screen, but everything seems to work fairly well. You'll notice that performance is excellent. This is running an 800 megahertz processor, a Snapdragon processor. If you're into taking photos, the camera app is the exact same as what we're used to on HTC devices. It's just been, as I said, updated for the side buttons over here. It's a 5 megapixel camera. It has a flash. It takes decent photos, and it's pretty quick. It's also got some good color reproduction too, and some nice features. You can adjust the image based on exposure, contrast, saturation, and sharpness, which is really nice to see. Most manufacturers don't include such specific settings. You can adjust white balance, ISO. You can also change it from widescreen to 4:3, which is what I'd recommend to get the full resolution here. And you can auto enhance, which is a software enhancement that I would turn off. That adds a bit of noise when it's on, but it also tries to enhance color and sharpness, for example. Autofocus, face detection, shutter sounds, stuff like that you can turn off, which is a nice feature. The one nice thing that I would like to point out is something called auto upload, and that's something that is similar to what you'd find in Google Plus, but this is built into the UI. And what it does is allows you to upload any photos you take automatically behind the scenes to either Facebook or Flickr if you sign up for either of these accounts. Let's show you some of that Facebook interaction as well, because it's actually quite interesting. For example, if I'm in my gallery app after I've taken a photo, let's just get right back into the gallery, and I take a photo. Here's the the LG Chat, Optimus Chat, that's coming soon to Telus. I can actually press the Facebook button here, and it will contextually perform an action based on the application that I'm in. So in this case, I'm in the Gallery app. It will ask me if I want to upload this to Facebook. If I have Flickr configured as well, it will allow me to do the same. So I can upload that straight away. I can choose an album I want, and I can also choose any tags and descriptions as well as privacy settings, which is quite a feature and something that should be built into more Android UIs, in my opinion. The same thing applies for the internet. So you see down here I have my Facebook button. I'm on Google. It will actually light up when you can use it in context, and it will allow you to share this URL straight from the browser. This is something that you're going to have to discover throughout the UI, as I was messing around with it, and I found a few cool things to do with that Facebook button. Ultimately, though, you have a bit of an overlap when it comes to Facebook usability. As HTC bundles FriendStream, which is their consolidating application, which allows you to sign up for Facebook, Twitter, and a bunch of other services, and it will show you here in a social graph that you can interact with. You can also filter it on the sides based on status, photos, links, lists, and locations, etc. That being said, you also have Facebook, the application itself, bundled here, and you have a proprietary HTC-built Facebook chat application that actually works quite well and is a very nice complement to the keyboard. So going into the keyboard, I just want to say that I had a lot of fun using this, and it works quite well with Android, even though often I would have to touch the screen, in order to open a text box or to interact with it. For example, if I open up the Messages app and I go Compose, if I want to add a text, it's actually very quick to do that. And there's also some very good autocorrect features in case you make a mistake. I found myself making far fewer mistakes than I did on the virtual keyboard, mostly bundled with Android devices. And I think for anybody who is coming from a BlackBerry but wants a bit more full-featured, more smartphone experience, this is definitely a phone to consider, and something that Telus made very clear. They're not going for the high-end market here. They're going for popular devices that people are going to actually want to use. This being Android, you have full access to the marketplace, as well as any apps that are available in there. Keep in mind, however, that some apps will not run well on this widescreen only device, and if it's portrait only, for example, if the application does not readjust to landscape mode, you will have to hold it like this in order to use it, which is a bit annoying, but HTC has made it very aware that this is a messaging device and it's made mostly for people who want to do that. This Android luckily has a lot of great messaging applications built in. Even though there's no BBM for Android, there is Kik, there's WhatsApp, Ping Chat, and a whole other bunch of services that we've grown to love over the past years that allow you to talk like BBM to your friends in the same style, delivered, received, sent, all those receipts there, and just as fast over your data network. As you can see here, HTC's included an HTC Recommends button in the marketplace, which I don't like so much because it actually gets rid of your My Applications tab. But you can see that they're just recommending some decent, some good apps that would be compatible with this device. A lot of games are compatible with the device, and I just wanted to show you one of them in particular. Angry Birds obviously runs in landscape by default, and I've loaded this up, and even though it runs in Letterbox here, it runs quite well and is something, you know, of a marvel when you think on this 2.6-inch screen I'm not really going to be playing games, but it runs without issue and loads up quite quickly. So any of these non-super high graphic games you're not going to have an issue with. So performance is quite good. You see it's very smooth. Let's hope I can get the pig on the first go. And there you go. It runs very nicely. You can do pinch to zoom, I believe. Well, let me show you other places where you can do pinch to zoom. The browser, it's a little bit slow. Obviously, you're going to be doing a lot of scrolling. But as you can see, I'll load up mobilesyrup.com. And this is the desktop page. And over Telus' network, it runs quite quickly. Telus has one of the fastest 4G networks in Canada, and we're very happy to say that this device, even though the browser is a little bit awkward to use, it does support pinch to zoom. You will have to scroll quite a bit to read the text, but it adjusts, it readjusts very well to suit the screen size. You just double tap anywhere on the screen and the text will be aligned according to the screen size. It's not the easiest application to use if you want to do a lot of reading, but it definitely gets the job done. A couple other applications that are built in. Obviously, because this is running Android 2.3, you have the portable Wi-Fi hotspot capability here, and Telus, unlike some US carriers, does not charge you extra for that feature. As long as you have a data plan there, you can use it the way you want to. The device does not support HD recording. It supports only 640 by 480, which will do the job. It actually supports, 720 by 480, which is 480p. It does the job, but not great quality. Another thing that it has is an FM radio. You just plug in your headset here, and that'll be used as an antenna for your radio. All the Google apps that you're used to here, we have maps with turn-by-turn navigation. This is because the device will debut probably for around $299 or $349, depending on the price without a contract. This is actually quite a cheap GPS, and since it has turn-by-turn navigation, it does a very good job. We don't know the price exactly yet, so I can't say, but it certainly is it's no slouch when it comes to the feature department. In terms of performance, the LinPack test is a good it's a good quality test when it comes to checking how much CPU power a device has. And even though this is a single core 800 megahertz processor, the results are pretty low, it definitely does the job. You won't notice much slowdown in the UI at all. So it gets about 9-10 megaflops, which is quite a bit lower than most other devices. But as I said, you're not buying this phone for power, you're buying it for usability. Another app that's catered very well is the native Twitter app here, and that is also quite a decent performer. And even though you can't see many tweets at once, it's very usable. As well, you have your drop-down menu here, which unfortunately, unlike other HTC Sense 2.1 devices and running Gingerbread, you don't have that quick shortcut menu, and you don't have your recently used apps, and that's just due to space constraints more than anything else. So overall, I think that HTC has done an excellent job catering to the QWERTY keyboard enthusiast market. This runs an Android version that has been developed specifically for this form factor. And while you're not going to be, reading a lot of, reading any books on this, it's great for messaging. It's got excellent sound quality, and if you actually want to use it as a phone and a messaging device, this is the one for you. So read up our review on mobilesyrup.com, and thanks so much for watching, guys.